We have to talk about the pom-pom shirt. We have to talk about
Eric hates this one shirt. It was like off the shoulder. Yeah.
These little like pom-poms. It literally like what is it? A Cinco de Mayo shirt.
Yeah.
Like I can't even like. It was the most.
I thought it looked so cute. When I got rid of it, he was like, "Thank
God." I was like, "Please, Jen." Like I just like. It was the most random thing you owned, and you would wear it to like parties sometimes. And I was like, not that I was judging you.
You were like, you can wear other shirts than that.
Hey campers, welcome back to another episode of Gay and Afraid with me, your host, Eric Sedeño, or better known as Rico Taquito. If you're new here, this is a podcast where we're putting the camp back in camping, and today we'll be talking about gays and girlies. I have the perfect guest to join me around the campfire today. She's my bestie, she's my number one girlie, she is awful, Jennifer Mika! Woo!
Yay!
Hi Jen, how are you today?
I'm good. I have to preface that I always introduce myself as Jennifer professionally, and Eric will literally be like, no, it's Jen.
I don't know Jennifer. Like, I don't know a Jennifer. People will come up to me and be like, oh, do you know Jennifer? I'm like, no, I don't know who that is. Like, I know Jen.
That's how I feel when people will be like, on the streets, they'll be like, you're besties with Ricky. And I'm like,
people like,
yeah,
my alter ego.
Right. Sometimes in our like group chat, people will be like, or we'll say like, that's our government name. Like our friend Margot will be like, Jennifer. And that's when I'm like, am I in trouble?
Yeah, it is your government name.
Yeah.
Like, actually. It's like so funny because you don't go by Jen even in your family or anything. It's just like from school, from college, right?
Yeah. It's actually, my mom is Japanese. This is so
oh my
funny
gosh, here she goes. I've heard this story 800,000 times.
Yeah.
Like it's like so. She's half Japanese.
I'm half Japanese. By the way, I am half Japanese.
She's half Japanese. She has a wolf cut.
I have a wolf cut.
Okay, wait. Let me go through my facts about Jen that I know. She was born in Hong Kong.
Yes.
Her family lives in Virginia now. She's a Leo. She's a dancer. She likes to do ballet.
I like to do ballet. But I wear my like little hip hop clothes.
Yeah.
But my mom, because she's Japanese, she didn't like nicknames. It was just a little bit hard for her to remember. So she was like, I gave you the name Jennifer. So I was always like, Jennifer, got it. And then in college, where Eric and I met each other, which we'll have to talk about our origin story.
I know.
Everyone sort of insisted on calling me Jen. And I found it so endearing that now all of my best friends call me Jen, and I really like being called Jen. It makes me feel like closer to people.
Yeah. Does Brent call you Jen? No.
No. So all my LA friends, I moved here last June. We're almost at 1 year, which is crazy. But all of my LA friends call me Jennifer. All my New York friends call me Jen. And then my family calls me Mika, which is my Japanese name, or Jennifer. So.
What does Mika mean again? Is it flower?
Yes.
Is it actually?
So I'm like surprised. Eric has such a good memory. So it means like pretty flower, but when I was born in Hong Kong, another fact I love to tell, but if you read it in like the Chinese characters, it means US China.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, used that in a college essay, and yeah, it all worked out.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start. Like, we'll talk about our like origin story. So me and Jen have been like friends. We've known each other for like 7 years.
Yeah.
Is that like I think about?
Yeah.
And then we didn't like each other at first.
We did not.
Jen was a sorority girl. She was really mean.
I was a sorority girl. It's gonna be fascinating for people to watch this because we have this like. People have an idea of who we are and our presence online. And I do feel like we show up as our authentic selves.
Oh, yeah.
But we had, like, I don't know if you guys would have recognized. Let's describe each other, what we were like in college. Like, you describe me and I'll describe you.
Okay, she was always late to class, so she's always walking 1,000,000 miles per hour. You would literally, class would end and she ran out the door and she was still late to her next class.
Yeah.
I don't know what she was doing.
My Ziploc of almonds.
Yeah,
always.
you were like always in your black Tridelt sweatshirt.
Yes.
Like speed walking
Yeah.
across camp. I could spot you a mile away. You're tiny.
Yeah.
And you're like speed walking across campus. I feel like you were crazier.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
you're
like a
go
crazy,
out. Like, you go out and like do things.
I was very social. Yeah.
We still are.
Yeah, I'm still. Eric, on the other hand, was very involved. Okay, he was
Okay,
an RA.
whatever that
he
means.
had all of these part-time jobs. He was an intern. He like you always
Yeah.
wore these like Adidas slides. You were also late to class. We don't change. We're still
Oh yeah, I was
always
like
late
still
today.
always late.
Okay, shout out. We both came on time today. We did great.
I was 15 minutes
Yeah, was
late.
it-
I'm not.
I
What's
was-
the Uber situation
Yeah,
here that
yeah.
gets me?
Um,
You didn't offer me a ride. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Let's be real. I am like still so new to driving. Tomorrow we're seeing Eric's billboard, and it's like a little farther away. On the phone yesterday, he was like, "Honestly, it's okay if you don't drive." Like,
It was like, well, I just wanted because it's like so far,
Yeah.
and I just like, oh my gosh, when I came here in October and you were still figuring out like driving in LA, you get mad at yourself when you don't do well.
It's so
She
mad.
gets so mad, and she was like mad at herself driving, and I was getting even more scared.
Yeah.
I was like-
You know, yeah,
was
Eric was such a trooper. Basically, I mean, I've had my license since I don't know, like 15, 16. But since I'd lived in New York for so long and I never had a car in college, it was kind of a rude awakening moving to LA, getting a car. I did exposure therapy. This is for all the nervous drivers out there. I bought my brother's car from him, and every day I would do like a little exposure therapy. First, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to drive to the grocery store with no music or anything. And then I was like, okay, I'll start listening to music. Okay, I'll drive a little bit farther. And now I'm fine. I still get a little nervous driving people in my car. Maybe it's Eric. Eric makes me a little nervous.
I don't say
because
anything.
you're backseat driver. You're backseat driver. When I picked him up from the airport, he was like, oh, you could. Oh, wow, Jen.
She ran a stop sign.
One stop sign. Oh, my
She
God.
ran a stop
Call me
sign.
crazy.
And I was like, oh, you passed the stop sign. She's like, okay.
I was trying to be chill. Yeah. But
The airport's scary.
Yeah, the airport is very, very
I'm
scary.
not a backseat driver.
No,
I swear.
He's a backseat driver. Which camera am I supposed to look at? I'm like, he's a backseat. Okay, so our origin story.
Yeah. Oh, wait, actually, okay. First, yeah, we'll do our origin story. So we met in college.
We met in college. We
like
did a project
7 years
together.
ago.
We did.
I can't believe
No,
we
not
were both.
7 years ago, because like we're 19.
We were both like 14.
We were like
in
12.
College. Yeah,
Yes,
like,
Casey.
I'm like, are we aging ourselves? That's
No,
crazy.
I'm like-
No, but we met in college and like we did a project together and we didn't like really mesh well. Like it was like, I don't know if it was like working together or what. Like we would have good conversations, but like actually working together
was not so good. It's because I just need to hype Eric up for a second. I was telling everyone before we started, Eric used to win awards. Like, he is the best art director, graphic designer. I'm like, louder for the people in the back. Like, Eric would stay up all night, not do a project, stay up all night, and then just win award after award after award. Like, he is an incredible art director.
You won like a national advertising
I
award.
did win an
She won like, I may have won like awards, but she won like the biggest award.
It was like a right timing, right situation thing, but he's the true talent. But I think because you're such a genius in advertising, and I was so focused on dance, we didn't mesh well because I was like, we just have big personalities.
No, it was the spring break project.
Yes.
You were going to Hawaii.
I was going to Hawaii because
And
I'm a
I
partier.
wasn't.
Remember, I'm a partier.
Yeah, like, she's going to Hawaii, and so like I don't know, we like didn't not get along, but it was just like the project like didn't help or something.
Right. And then we both won most promising
multicultural student award.
Yeah, which is like, because again, we love to share that you're Latino and that I'm Asian.
Yeah.
We went on this trip to New York.
It was an all expenses paid trip to New York.
We saw the Lion King.
We did see the Lion King.
See the Lion King. We walked around Times Square like really late at night, and something happened on that trip. Yeah. We were glued together. And that really solidified that we had something special.
We were like friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when we graduated, I moved to New York to join a dance company, a modern dance company. I wanted to be a classical dancer. Eric was going to be an intern.
Yeah.
For this great ad agency. And how did we end up in that studio?
Okay, so I literally moved to New York in the worst way. I didn't have a place to live. I had a place to live for a month, and then I was like moving around and found another place to live for a month. And then I moved to another place to live for a month. But basically this girl, like, I told her, I was like, I can only afford $900 a month in rent. And she's like, okay, well, I'm going to be out of the country. Just take my studio, even though it's like, that's not how much it's worth. And I was like, okay. So then I called Jen, and I was like, Jen, I got a place to stay. Do you want to come stay with me? And we'll pay $450.
$450, which...
In the smallest...
It was the size of this set. Gorgeous, by the way. This beautiful set. Stunning.
We're on a campfire.
Okay, yeah.
We're on a camp. sites.
I love it. It's giving nature. It's giving
It's giving gay.
It's giving gay. It's giving
afraid.
afraid.
Yeah.
But yeah, we lived in close quarters. I slept on an air mattress that we put up every night.
I kicked her in the head.
He kicked me in the head.
It was so tight.
Yeah.
Like it was such a. But it was like. I feel like if it wasn't you, I would have gone crazy.
Yeah.
If it was someone else, it was crazy. We didn't like hate each other.
We never hated. I truly think it was that sort of scarcity mentality of like we had just graduated. We would celebrate things by eating like $1 pizza. For Eric's birthday. I like we literally didn't have money. I just put Post-it notes of like all of the things.
Compliments.
Yeah, I think it was like 22 or 23 of my favorite things about Eric, and he cried, and I have a video of it.
I cried so hard because it was so nice.
Yeah.
Like when people do nice things for me, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would think I was also going through it like with my job and stuff, and I was like, someone's being nice to me, and I just like cried.
Right. And actually, speaking of gifts, I want to give you this gift because I came back from Japan last week.
God.
It's really nothing special.
What is it?
It's just like a fun little something. Hopefully, the ASMR of the bag.
It's beautiful.
It's literally not even anything tangible. It's just like a fun little like snack for you later. But it's these really yummy like chocolate snacks. Yay! You can,
That's so sweet. Oh, thank you so much.
What I wanted to give you.
She flew in illegal goods from Japan for me. That's so sweet.
Just for you. I wanted to give you a journal because they have like beautiful, and Eric always fills ideas on journals like constantly. You have so many journals. But I had to be flown back early for a gig. But next time I go to Japan, I'll get you a journal.
Like to zip through, that was like I think when we really solidified our friendship, and then we moved in with a friend for a month, and we found a place to live in Harlem, and then we lived in Harlem for a year, and then in Brooklyn for a year, and we've just been in each other's lives, and we have a good friend group, like it's 4 of us from college, and we text like every day.
We text every single day.
And like when she comes to New York, we hang out like. It's just like a magical group. Like there's no problems.
Yeah.
And it's like the
sisterhood.
sisterhood.
Except for when we almost had her falling out, but we worked through it.
We did have a fight.
Yeah.
It was like the pettiest, worst fight, like the most nothing fight about nothing.
Yeah.
And then we went to a pizza restaurant and cried, and we're like, we're friends again.
Yeah. It was basically because Eric is the whole reason I even started on TikTok, honestly. He was like, Jen, you have to do this. I know, you never get enough credit. I was like, I don't want to do this. I was so snobby. Like, I have a degree in classical dance. Like, I'm not going to do this. And he was like, no, you can do it. Like, it was back in 20.
It was like me, Margot really pushed too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so I honestly only started because my mom really popped off because people love that like mom-daughter content.
Her mom is so cute.
She's a star.
She's a star. Like your mom is like a star.
Right. And
her Bob.
Her Edna mode Bob. And then when Eric started to get on TikTok as well, and he like popped off because he's also a star. I mean, well, you know. And
she's a Leo, and
you're Leo cast.
I'm in the cusp. Like I'm like Leo leaning.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. I remember being like very insecure, very jealous. I felt like I just like was, I guess, overshadowed. And then 6 months later, when I found that security in myself, then I was like, yeah. It was like our flop errors were like going back and forth, and we were mad about it. Yeah,
I don't know. And then now I feel like after we had that talk, it's just so easy to be happy for each other.
Yes.
But it was like, I feel like the rough patch made us better friends.
Yes.
But I don't know.
Yes.
It's like
1000%. I feel like I'm just so proud of you always.
I'm proud of you. We literally say this all. We're called yesterday, and we just said it like 18 times, like back and forth. Like it was like so proud of each other, like all the time. It's really sweet. But speaking of being friends, we're talking about gays and girlies.
Yes.
We haven't even started the topic.
My bad. Sorry, guys.
We're talking about gays and girlies. And like, I think like my favorite thing about having girls in my life, like even through high school, like my 2 best friends at the end of high school were like these 2 girls, Latinas. And like, they were Latina. And I think they just like, I found so much comfort in like the lack of judgment and like, I don't know. I feel girls in high school especially are really like they protect their gay friends. Yes. Even if they like the gay friend hasn't come out, they're just, I don't know.
Yes.
I just feel like they're like a big they're allies.
Yes, yeah.
That's
No, it's funny you say that because I feel that exact same way about all of my gay friends. And I also feel like there's this level of comfort there. Being a dancer, I was pretty much always surrounded by gay guys.
Yeah.
And
ballet. You do ballet. Like, I feel like, especially, like, not especially, but if you're like young in ballet and like, I don't know, I feel like that's where a lot of gay men start dancing.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty like effeminate form of art, you know, like, and I feel like, not that you have to be gay to be, there's plenty of straight ballet dancers, right?
Right.
Like male.
Even just like in all styles of dance, like doing hip hop or more contemporary, there's sort of this fashion, this like androgynous fashion that I really lean into and fully started to blossom into, where I could just be myself and not feel so constricted to the gender role of like as much as I love ballet, I did feel like, okay, I do have to be this feminine presence.
Yeah.
And it sort of like melds into each other in dance. I really feel like we can fully be ourselves. And I think that's why I've always connected the most. I joke that in LA, I only hang out with the girls and the gays. It's like where I feel the most comfortable.
You've yet to introduce me to a straight man that you know.
I can't. I don't maybe know. I'm like.
we talk about this all the time. Like, we don't interact with straight men.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very scarce that we're like interacting with straight men.
And it probably has to do with we're just in such artistic careers now.
Yeah.
Whereas in college, we could go to like a frat party or something.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I was.
Yeah. I was trying to get in and they wouldn't let me in. I was
on Thursdays, we'd like go to, I don't want to like say the name of the bar.
The bar, we'd go to a bar in college and get so like obliterated.
Oh my God.
We would, oh my God, Jen and I in college, we would get so drunk and then we would be Millie rocking on the stage of the bar,
always on the stage.
Lights on us, like next to each other. I would be in overalls.
Yeah.
Why the hell did I have an overall era?
Literally, I'm sure people wouldn't imagine like the way we would dress too, because it was also a school in Texas.
She would
heels,
wear. Oh my God, she would wear heels and like, wait, we have to talk about the pom-pom shirt.
Eric hates this one shirt. It was like off the shoulder. Yeah.
These little like pom-poms. It literally like what is it? A Cinco de Mayo shirt. Yeah. Like I can't even like. It was the most.
I thought it looked so cute. When I got rid of it, he was like, "Thank
God." I was like, "Please, Jen." Like I just like. It was the most random thing you owned, and you would wear it to like parties sometimes, and I was like, I not that I was judging you.
You're like, you can wear other shirts than that, yeah.
But no, it's like, so like, would you say like growing up, you know, in dance, like you had a lot of gay friends, like?
Yes, for sure. Or I think it more. I was exposed with actually, yeah, I would say for the most part. But really in college, I was surrounded by especially gay men.
Yeah.
And then honestly, with the exposure to TikTok, I was just engaging more in like the fluidity of sexuality.
Yeah.
I'm still exploring that as well too. I think everyone has been exploring that, and I think it makes for more open space.
I feel like right now, especially, like, I think TikTok has opened a window into, like, identity conversations where, like, people are talking about, like, oh, am I a boy, am I a girl, am I non-binary? Like, and, like, that has nothing to do with who you're attracted to or, like, and, like, there's all these different things that go into it that, not that they haven't been there, but now it's so, like, such an open conversation.
Yes.
And I think it's nice that, like, the internet and TikTok has kind of, like, exposed so many people to so many things because there's so many people, even, like, trans women, like so many trans women and men are on the internet like right now and so visible and popular that I don't think we've necessarily had that before TikTok, especially in such an interactive like parasocial kind of way.
Yes. I actually this makes me think of in high school there was a teacher I had who made like an announcement. It was like on like some form of social media, and he came out and he was a teacher. And he didn't come to lunch the next day because he was so nervous. And he came to the end. And I guess when I was like 15 or 16, I went up to him and I was like, oh, I saw that. And like, congrats. And he told me years later how much he appreciated me saying that to him. Because at that time, you had to make like this big announcement. And, you know, like even old YouTubers, like you have to make this big.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we're kind of entering this new era of like we don't necessarily need labels unless you want it, but there's no need to have this big
now
moment.
people coming out on the internet now is like it's a comment, are you girly pop, ?
Yeah.
And
do you listen to Girl in Red?
Yeah.
I get that all the time.
And then it's like, then they'll put in the comment, they'll respond with like the nails painting emoji, and I'm like, okay, did you just that's you coming out, like, for real? Like, that's really crazy.
Or the like it says liked by creator. It's like, he's gay.
He's gay. But it's just like so interesting. Also, wait, before we move on, she's been an ally for a long time. I want to point that out. But I also wanted to say, like, I want to talk about your dance history, because you went to high school and you were a dance. I don't want to say the name of the school, but like you studied dance in high school.
Yes.
And then you went to college and didn't pursue dance, and then changed your mind after year 1.
Yes.
And transferred to the school that we met at.
Yes. So I think I experienced a lot of doubt in myself, this lack of confidence. I used to tell myself, I'm always going to be in the top 10%, but I'll never be in the 1%. And I'll have to tell you guys about this gig I just did 2 days ago that sort of solidified that really talent does come from preparation and opportunity, but also just truly believing in yourself. And in going to that college first and not believing I was a good enough dancer and then transferring, just shows that, like, if you do believe in yourself, like, you can really, I was telling someone, like, you can be a voice actor, like,
yeah, like, you really can. And like, I think it's really, really like admirable that you made the decision. She didn't tell any of her friends, her other college that she was transferring. Yeah. And you like applied, and you're like, I think, like, for me, I would have done that too, out of fear of failure. Like, if I didn't make it, no one would have known. Like, didn't make a huge deal out of it.
Right.
But I feel like it's so crazy and smart. Like, it's so cool that you did that. And like, look where you are now. Like, she just did this amazing dance gig where she's like the lead, and it's like a huge deal.
So this will be out when the music video is out. Like, guys, I cannot emphasize, this is probably my best work. I've never been more proud. This goes
I've
right
never been more proud.
Yeah. Like, yesterday when Eric and I were on the phone, he was like, I'm going to cry.
No, I'm going to cry. I was like, it's so exciting.
And actually, the premise of this music video is that I'm sort of this lovable loser. Should I just talk about it?
Yeah, as long as it's like not a problem with your NDA and stuff.
No.
Yeah.
So basically, if you know Cody Fry, he's also on TikTok, Grammy-nominated artist, composer. He has a new song out, and I'm the lead. It takes place in a 50s prom. I'm this loser. Everything will be in black. Oh, I won't describe too much, but
loser.
I'm the loser, and that's me. That's literally me. Which I also loved. It was a really interesting acting role to take on. I had to be really theatrical, but I'm so excited. Basically, everyone turns to color. I'm the only person in color. Everyone's black and white, which I feel like also goes with this gay and afraid. So that you can be your most authentic self, and thrive as long as you are true to yourself.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be a really cool video. I'm so excited to see it.
Yeah.
And like, I do think that like it probably has some, like, I like Judy Garland singing like Somewhere Over the Rainbow, like compelled so many gay people to fall in love with the Wizard of Oz, like, and which is kind of like, because I don't know, it was just like she became a gay icon because of that song, and and it was like kind of speaking to like someday it'll be okay, like Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And I don't know, it's like, it's a very beautiful kind of like, when you think about it in terms of like history, like how it inspired so many people to like, or especially gay people, to like feel like they could be themselves or look forward to the future. It's funny that motif kind of is in your music video of like I don't know, being yourself and like bringing light to like who you are. I don't know, I'm excited.
That's like 100% what I think that theme is that like you can be your truest self. And I almost will have to like show a picture of what our college, we should make a TikTok about what we looked like in college, because I think we became our truest selves. And really like the first Pride we went to, if you guys have never been to New York Pride,
oh my gosh,
go to New York Pride. We
have to let's talk about New York Pride.
Yeah, let's talk about New York Pride.
The ankle.
The ankle. The career-ending ankle injury, because I did the shoot. Okay, you tell the story.
So we went to Pride in like what, 2018.
It was like
2018 in New York for the first time. And it was kind of like my first big Pride where I was like out and like doing things like and I'll never forget, we like we were doing the shoot dance on the sidewalk, and Jen had this amazing internship, and she rolled her ankle like the hardest roll. Like she snapped her ankle.
Camera, yeah.
Her foot almost fell off her body. Like she was in these giant like platform sandals, and it just happened. It was really
and then Eric literally carried me for the rest of Pride, and it was as terrible as it was at the time. It was such a bonding experience for us too. And that year when we ended up living together was Eric would always call his group of friends, and we'd be like, oh, the gays. Like
I had my gays and I had my girlies.
Yeah, the gays and the girls, literally.
That's literally what I call my friend. Like those are my two friend groups.
Yeah.
And they only come together on my birthday. Yeah. That's like the only time they all interact.
But we all like love each other. And I have always thought that I felt like you really got to have a supportive group of like gay men in your life after because we lived so high up in Harlem. You would go travel all the way down just to see them.
I would take an hour and 30-minute train to like the middle of Bed-Stuy just so I could have friends.
Yeah.
Literally just so I could have gay friends and like go do gay stuff. There's that article that girls who have gay friends have higher self-esteem.
Wow. Maybe that's why I'm like obsessed with myself and very narcissistic, because I have amazing gay role models in my life.
No, but like do you feel like that's true? Do you feel like your gay friends like give you more confidence and make you feel better about yourself than like, let's say your other girlfriends, or do you feel like you're competing with them, or like I guess you don't really have straight male. You have some straight male friends.
I have some straight male. Honestly, I'm at a point in my life where I keep my circle really tight, and I'm really intentional with where I put my energy, and I feel like I am just my most authentic self with my girlies and my gays.
Yeah.
And maybe it has to do with just that like sort of like artistic back. Not that it's just within this group of people, but I truly feel the most comfortable being myself.
Yeah. And I feel like it's sometimes for a lot of people, it's really hard to get to that place of like, I like really, really love myself, and I'm like, I know exactly who I am, and I'm just going to be that person.
Yes.
And I'm so happy that I feel like we both have that. And like, that's why people respond to us so well. I think it's like, I feel like, do you feel like it took you a long time to get there to like really accept yourself? For me, I mean, obviously I had a whole journey, but I think moving to New York was like one of my biggest, like greatest accomplishments in terms of like, oh, I can be myself here.
Right. Also, I think there's a lot of pressure for me, like just having a mom who's like Japanese, like honor and respect is like so huge in my family. I always just wanted to be like this perfect academic student person, dancer. And then not that my family is like so supportive, but like even with we have to talk about your coming out story too.
Oh yeah.
Which is like, that was a really.
Did I ever come out to you or?
No, I feel
like. Oh yeah, I'm like she was like okay.
Yeah. But I getting to even just like, I can only speak like my bandwidth is just the way I like dress and act, and like getting to be my most authentic self, which is way less feminine. And then I feel like you got to lean more into that. Like we are very different versions of ourselves.
I think like the one reason gay and girl like friendships really, really work is because we're both attracted to the same thing. Yes. But there's
unfortunately, we do like men.
Yeah, like we like men, and like I think like, I mean, obviously bisexual men are real, but you know, for the most part, you're kind of going for different. You're not like gonna be really attracted to the same person kind of thing. And so there's like support, or like he's hot, like you can agree with each other's opinions. Yeah. Especially like I'm talking about dating. Right. And like
which Eric did so much of in New York for a long time.
She always calls me out.
Literally, when we lived our first apartment together, a new guy every day.
No,
I was like,
she's so full of it.
There was like the guy named Eric. I was like, okay, you are really in love with yourself if you're dating a guy. He looked like Eric too.
No, I was blonde. He wasn't blonde. Yeah. But it was a Latino guy named Eric. Yeah. He was cute.
Yeah. It's like, it's not like my taste in men is any better. So.
No, it's like a broomstick who skateboards.
I love a skater. I love a skater.
A broomstick with Chipotle tattoos.
I love a feminine, unemployed skater.
She loves unemployed guys.
Maybe the next guy, someone out there, he'll have that. I'm like, is it you out there watching?
No, she's always like, I'm gonna marry a half Japanese man, and we're gonna have half Japanese babies. And I'm like, okay, but the one thing about Jen, she's gonna manifest.
I manifest. The last guy, yeah,
she's gonna manifest.
I actually never talk about my dating life online, but I do. I'm like, every time I will it into existence. I don't do anything. I'm not on dating apps. You can't find me.
Jen is the luckiest person I know. Outside of dating, Jen is the luckiest person. Like, I swear to God. Outside of dating? No, I just mean like as a whole, like your whole life. Like when she moved to LA, this girl was like, oh, I'm moving out of my apartment. She moves in. Yeah. She's like, oh, I need a car. Oh, my brother is like, moving to New York. Yeah, you can have my car. I'll sell it to you. I'm like, you don't even have to try.
Right. Honestly.
Not even a Google search. It's just set up. I'm like, hello?
Guys, manifestation is real. And
karma. You're a big karma girl.
Big karma person. I actually texted the music video I did. It's the other lead. It was like a supporting character's birthday. And I was like, she would really appreciate if maybe it's a selfish thing. I'm like, I'm gonna wish her happy birthday and I won't run into issues driving here. And so like maybe it is a karma thing, but I feel like really good things happen to you too. It's
the energy you carry. For me, it's like I'm like on this thing where every day I try and say like I'm lucky and good things happen to me. And like look at me, I'm like lucky. I'm so lucky and like good things always happen to me.
No, like, I'm like, okay, not like everything.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
But I think it really is like we're both like big yellow energies. Like we're big like sunshiny energies. And I think that carries weight because if you're a gray cloud, you have like if you're circulating bad energy, you attract it. Like I don't think that if you're like thinking bad thoughts and not feeling good about yourself, like things aren't going to go your way. You really have to just be like, it's my day. It's my special day.
Right.
And like, and I'm going to really go out and be like happy and attract good energy.
Right. I think too, that is why I found myself so comfortable around the gays and the girls because I was always so supported and just like, again, my truest self. Like I could really be myself around this group of people. Whereas sometimes I think like in the more like traditional, maybe I'm just like repelled by men or something.
No, I don't know.
I think though, we at this point, we have had people in our life who have been gray clouds that we weren't initially aware of.
We still have people in our life.
We still have people in our life.
We still have some people with gray clouds.
And like learning to let go of people, I think we could like.
Oh yeah, I think letting go of friendships is really hard, but sometimes it's necessary.
I would go so far to say breaking up with friends is harder than this is hard because we know sort of like how to break up with a romantic, there's
easier. It's like easier to say like I no longer want to like romantically see you than to be like I cannot have you in my life as a friend. You're not a good friend to me.
Right.
I feel like that's harder to say because there's less weight in it. Like there's less like oh I don't like have to go on dates with you or but if I hang out with you and I'm not happy, like why are you in my life?
Right. And then it's like this whole gray area and then like everyone's intermingled. I think that social media has an aspect. I fully believe, and we have careers in social media, we should not have this much access to our friends' lives. Like I should not know every single detail of all of my friends' lives, but we do. And we have like I know exactly what all my friends are doing. And so learning to break up or like let go, which is what I don't think we would have actually ever done that, but we had a moment where we were like, oh shoot, like are we, I don't know, it all worked out though.
I didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
Like what? You want to break up with me?
Almost right now.
No, I just feel like it was so funny because we'd be texting in the group chat every day and then she'd say something and I'd ignore it. And then I'd say something and then she would ignore it. And I was like, that bitch.
I would comment. This sounds so small, but it's so real, you guys. We would like comment on it and he would like every comment and not mine. Hers. I'd be like, oh my God, what? Like my comment.
Okay, so me and Jen are now holding marshmallows on a stick over the campfire, and we're gonna get into our campfire story times. Okay. I'm gonna start it with telling you basically why it's called Gay and Afraid. Okay. So when I was a young gay boy, I was in the Boy Scouts, and we were on a trip, and all the Boy Scouts were sitting around the fire, and they all turned to me, and one of them goes, Eric, are you gay? And in that moment, I was nothing but gay and afraid. Like, I was just, like, so full of fear, like, gayness I didn't even know about yet. Like, it's just, like, one of those moments that, like, sticks in your head forever. And you kind of brought it up. You were, like, when you like, went up to your teacher, and he's like, I'll never forget that you said that to me. Like, we might forget what we say, but some people, it'll stick with them forever. Do you have, like, a moment in your life that is, like, stuck with you forever?
Yes. In high school... Or I guess, I was like a kid. a guy told me, he was my friend, said, I wrote in my journal, don't be afraid to skew from society's predetermined path. And that's such a like legit.
What year was this?
I was like 15.
You're 15?
Like, he said that he was a smart kid.
Who did you go? You went to school with Maya Angelou.
So he said, don't be afraid to skew from society's predetermined path. He probably had a crush on me. Oh my God, what if he sees this? It's fine.
I've been talking about ex-boyfriend stuff, and I'm like, oh.
Right, whatever.
They're good. Someone's going to see something.
But it kind of reminds me also of what my mom says. Oh, are we allowed to eat these?
Yeah. So I didn't mean to distract you.
But my mom also, the shortened, easier version of that, she's always like, go for it. And I feel like it shows me, because naturally I do doubt myself, and naturally I do feel like that lack of confidence. But it just shows me like, there's this like society's predetermined path, but we don't have to be a part of that.
Yeah.
You know? So.
That is the craziest. I'm like, someone called me gay. And I was like, yours is don't think about what society says.
Right,
I'm like, oh my God.
I guess I'm just like really academic and
really,
much smarter than you. So I don't,
like,
I'm like really different, and like, I'm like Socrates, and you're like.
She thinks just because she got a wolf cut.
Yeah, I got one wolf cut.
She's so smart.
Yeah, I guess. And I had no one knows that I worked for a tech startup. I had a full-time job till like 8 months ago. No one knows.
She'd be in the Uber on the way to go dance for TikToks.
Typing
She's
away,
like typing away.
all my stuff.
She'd be like Snapchatting us like.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you're crazy. I don't know.
I was always I was like way too scared of leaving my full-time job before I mean, Eric, you're the brave one. You're the one who left your full-time job, fully committed to this, and then I was really inspired by you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I feel like you always had it. It's just like, it's hard to, I feel like some people, they just believe in themselves so hard, no matter what, no matter how bad or good or whatever they are. Like, just believe in themselves so much that they're like not afraid of failing. I feel like maybe it comes with like comfort in like how they grew up or where they're from. Like they know they'll always land on their feet, but I don't feel like I have that. I don't feel like I always going to land on my feet. Like it's not ingrained in me.
Right.
And so I do have a fear of failure, and it's sad. Like not that it holds me back, but like I see myself like not doing things because I'm like, well, what am I going to do if it goes poorly, and what am I going to do if it goes well? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't believe in myself either way sometimes.
Right. And it doesn't help to, like, since we're on social media, we have constant feedback, like reading comments, like these things, like
criticism from people who could not do what we do, which is really
what
sad.
What do they call them? Keyboard warriors or whatever.
Keyboard warriors.
Like that, like,
oh my God, the keyboard warriors like try to find any fault in anything you do.
We'll have occasional phone calls. It truly goes back and forth. Like, I'll be like, yeah, I can't look at myself in the mirror for the next like month because I literally like hate myself because of the way people will like comment things. And then you had a period where you're like, yep, everyone literally hates me, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God. And if I have acne, the first comment is always like, oh, I never see you with acne. You have acne right now.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I didn't know.
Right.
Why would you bring that up?
Right.
Like,
no,
shut
literally.
up. Like,
you should never comment about something that someone can't change in
the first 5 minutes. Yeah. I love that. I love that saying. And like, I don't know. It is still like, I feel like, okay, also we have to talk about it. TikTok used to be so much nicer. Yes. And now it's getting like the meanest comment wins kind of thing in the comment section. Like the meanest comment wins.
Yes.
And so that's why I feel, or like the most out of pocket, outrageous thing you can say about someone or about what they said is like, I think the winning comment, and people want to have the winning comment.
Yes.
So the culture of TikTok has changed.
It's also like so many people are on it. It's way more competitive. I think like everyone has, as beautiful as it is that everyone has an equal opportunity to be an influencer or content creator, you also just have everyone like fighting for attention, basically. I do think it really helps that we are, again, like our truest, most authentic selves. We won't post if we aren't.
I can't post if I'm not having a good day.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make me feel good to like fake it.
Yeah.
And if I do fake it and I post it and I can't watch the video back, like I'm like, I know how I felt and I didn't feel like how I'm acting, and like that is so false of me.
Right.
And I just can't do it. It's really hard for me to not be like authentic.
Is there any type of content creating or type of video that you know you could definitely not do? Like I could never do those like fake prank videos or anything like that.
If I was in a couple and they were like, let's do a prank video, I'd break up with them in 2 seconds.
Or just like couple
I think like couple content is hard for me because like my boyfriend literally, I ask him to be on my social media and he's like, no.
I just need
like
I need a replica of, can I say his name or no?
Yeah, I said it before.
Okay, I'll say Ruby.
Ruby, yeah.
I literally just need like a replica of Eric's boyfriend because I'm gonna look in the camera, he's perfect. He's like so kind and he doesn't even like, he's so like so funny, but like only the close
He's
friends.
really, he's
so
really
funny.
quiet and he doesn't open up really.
Which is our favorite because we can't shut up.
Yeah. I said this before, but I literally like, he'll run, his social battery runs out like right away. Or like not right away, but it'll like, as soon as like it'll run out. And mine doesn't. So I'll be talking for 25 minutes.
Right. Wait, should we talk about how when you guys first started dating, he lived close to Ruben?
You can say Ruben.
Okay,
you can say Ruben.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ruben, or as I like to know him as Ruby.
Yeah. He doesn't even like go by Ruby. We just made this.
Call him Ruby.
And like no one, just them. I started texting Ruby.
Yeah.
In the group chat, and so you guys all call him
we
Ruby.
All call
but
him Ruby.
He
but he lived walkable to my apartment when Eric moved into a different apartment in Brooklyn, and Eric every morning that he would like hang with him would text me and be like, Jen, can I come over? I would go use my bathroom, my basement bathroom. I'd be like, don't use the one upstairs. Go downstairs. Yeah.
I would, yeah. So I'd wake up and I'd walk. It was like a 20-minute walk.
Yeah,
maybe.
it was a nice little walk.
It was like on the way home.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then I would stop. I'd give her a hug and I'd literally
obliterate my bathroom.
Take a shit in her bathroom. I had to shit.
Right.
And I don't know. Like I was like, and it was just our tradition.
Yeah. And he'd always be like, yeah, I'm seeing this guy. And then like it turned into something so special. And now it's been like, what, 2?
I really didn't want to like him. And
yeah.
I really liked him.
You're also,
but
Eric,
he's, okay.
You're such a good dater though. That's something I will say. You're very good at dating. And I'm very bad at dating.
Okay, she says that. And then every date she goes on, is like, he's obsessed with me. Like, well, oh my God, they're in love with me.
The summer of 2021, I was like, I don't know how to go on dates. Like, I'm really uncomfortable with this. But I have to force myself. It became a social experiment, and I feel like I had my hot girl summer, and I like went on.
You should have seen her. She went on a date that was so bad, and we were like cheering her on.
Oh yeah.
We shouldn't talk about him. But
we shouldn't talk about him.
But I'll never forget. We're like you like took 2 shots, and you're like. And I was like, are you anxious right now? I was like, you literally could talk to a brick.
It's crazy.
I don't know why you get anxious. Like
I could really talk to anyone, and I love meeting people, but it's something about like this social construct of like sitting and like very much like knowing like I am attracted to you, you're attracted to me, we're gonna sit and eat food. I'm like, I can't even stomach this like pasta right now. Like I don't, but if you were like, let's hang out and there was a little bit more mystery to it, maybe I'd be more, but honestly at this point, yeah. You don't catch me.
I don't know.
All I do is dance now.
I like dating though. Or I did like dating.
So good at it.
I don't know. It was just kind of fun. Well, it was like also I feel like when like I feel like gay people go like they're making up for lost time. They're like, oh well, you had literally since high school you had a boyfriend. Like like you had the guy with the eyebrow ring.
Okay, yeah, he imprinted on me. He imprinted on me. He was my first boyfriend in 9th grade. He was a skater, and he had an eyebrow ring. My mom loved the eyebrow ring.
Yeah,
he was
she did.
She loved. My mom was kind of like
your mom's cool.
She's cool, and he was really good at drawing. He was sensitive. He was pretty like feminine too. Like just like had a good touch. He was very in touch with his emotions. We're actually like still friends. I think. Yeah, he's like with someone else. Yeah, ring? But no more eyebrow ring. Okay. But he definitely imprinted on me because he was also half Filipino, like an amazing baseball player. Yeah, so
you're type to a
I'm
T.
like, are you guys taking notes?
Have you like ever gotten ghosted, or have you ghosted anyone?
Yes. Wait, which one should I talk about? Because
I can't even imagine you ghosting someone.
No, I don't ghost people because I love communication, and I would never. It would like bother me not closing out something. I'd say. Yeah. I don't think I've ever like not responded to a text. Or no, if I do not respond, I'm a terrible texter. Bad at texting.
I'm a terrible texter.
You're so bad at texting.
Good at calling. Bad at texting.
Yeah, he's very good at calling.
Speaking of ghosting, we are now going to be moving into our next segment called Ghosted Stories, where we are going to be looking at fan submissions of times that you either got ghosted or ghosted somebody. We are holding flashlights under our chins for dramatic campfire effect.
Okay. Method acting.
Yeah. And we're going to be rating them out of 1 to 10 scaries.
Okay.
So how scary the situation was.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to make any sense, but it's going to be fun.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Someone ghosted me because I was too bottom for him. Oh my God. That's hate crime.
Yeah.
That's like bad. Like
Oh
1
my
out of 10.
God.
Like that's bad. Or is it 10 out of 10 because it's like super scary?
Oh, okay. That's
I would
bad.
say boo. Where's the button?
Boo. Yeah.
That's so crazy that they would do that.
I know.
I don't know. What do you feel?
I feel like that's pretty bad.
I think that's just a way to say like it's too like effeminate.
Yeah.
So it's like a mask for mask guy being like, you're not masculine enough for me.
Oh, I guess I didn't even think about like what people need in like the intimacy department, you know?
Yeah.
So
Oh, maybe he wanted a verse king.
yeah.
Like a versatile.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's hits and misses.
Yeah, they're hits and misses. Yeah.
I would say like boo.
Yeah, boo. Yeah.
Oh, that's good for ghosters. Boo.
Yeah.
A guy ghosted after giving me HSV and told me later it was to see the birth of his daughter. What does that mean?
There's like a lot
There's
to
a lot.
unpack there.
So he gave the HSV to you so he could see the birth of his daughter.
It just sounds like this person's a little unhinged.
Do you know what HSV is? It's herpes, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Herpes simplex virus.
Okay. Wow. You know a lot about that. That's amazing.
I went to Texas public school.
Oh.
So I had to Google that one.
Okay. I actually recently learned so much about herpes because I had a friend who went through it's apparently like extremely common. Like
Yeah,
I don't
it's
really,
super. Well, like there's like the ones in your mouth are like super common.
Yeah.
And like it's like
cold sores. Like
cold
I've had
sores
that
and
since I
stuff.
was
Yeah, but I think like
the other ones.
the other ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it just sucks that there's no like medicine to get rid of
Yeah.
it or like.
Do you know the stigma is really only in the U.S. and apparently like it in other countries it's considered like a skin condition or something like that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
like,
didn't know that.
because it's so extremely common. But I mean, I do think you have it for life once you
Get
have
it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't know what that story was. I thought it was really scary.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
I don't know.
Birth of a daughter.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The daughter. Where'd the daughter come
yeah,
from?
a child
He's
is
just
like
making
a whole,
shit up.
Yeah.
That's just bad.
I think they were
1
just-
out of 10.
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
Okay, next one is I got ghosted and a month later I saw stories of his wedding.
Okay, that's kind of spicy.
That's crazy. Well, see, now at least there was a resolve.
Yes.
I had the 6.
Yeah.
Because like you know what happened. Like he had a reason.
Yeah. For some reason, it sounds like a really good like plot too. Sadly, I think that happens like more often than we think.
What?
You know?
Like they're
That
like they're
these
cheating
married
on their.
men, yeah.
Yeah, but imagine. Oh my God, would you reach out? Like, let's say you were the other
That's a
woman.
good
Would you
question.
reach out?
Would you reach out? Like.
Would you reach out?
Would you reach out?
I would.
I would. Goes back to the communication thing. I would reach out. Because
Well, it depends. Like, do I want to get involved in all that?
I've personally never had an experience like that. So I don't.
I
know.
have one. Let me tell the story.
Wait.
Okay. No, because like, well, you know, being open is way more like,
Yes,
in gay relationships, it's way more common to be open.
Right.
So at least I think. I don't know.
Right.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm asking you.
I know. I'm like.
Well, anyways, like in gay relationships, it's way more common to be open. And one time I was in Dallas and I left my number on a receipt for this waiter.
I remember this.
Yeah.
Yes.
She knows every story.
Yeah, I literally. Wait, go on. No,
every
go on.
Yeah. And I wound up like I wound up going over to his apartment and we were like making out. I was like, oh, this guy's really nice. Like, but I live in New York, he lives in Dallas, blah, blah, blah. And then we're like making out. And then all of a sudden, he's like, oh, my boyfriend's going to be home soon. I think you should leave. And I was like, what?
Oh, my God.
And then I was like, I didn't even ask any questions. I didn't really know what I was doing.
Actually, on this topic, which is crazy, and I didn't even know what an open relationship was until I went to a camp, okay, where I was a camp counselor. Okay.
Yeah, okay,
Staying
camp.
on theme. Okay. And my boss, like the camp counselor, like head person, was married to someone. They're both artists, actually. And they brought me into a room. I'll never forget. They brought me into a room because they talked about how they're in an open relationship. And I'm like really receptive. Like I really wanted to like learn about it. They did close the door, which I thought was interesting. And they showed me this podcast. They showed me this book they read together because they're married, but because they both travel for work as dancers, they'll open and close their relationship, which is, I'm sure, the rules or like there's.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, at least in New York with my friend, like the friends that I like know are in open relationships, it feels more like expected at some point that you're going to open up.
Right. That's so interesting.
But like for a straight couple, like where you're always traveling, like you have physical needs and
Yeah.
you just like, you can't ignore them. And it's better to be like open and honest about it.
Right.
And then if you are together in close proximity, you can close up. Like that's good.
Right.
Like I always say this, like I feel like the problem with when I see like people I know in open relationships is like they'll be dating for 2-3 months and they're like, okay, we're open now. And like maybe that works for you, but I feel like maybe you should build like a more solid base.
Right.
But that's my constructive criticism. Never been in an open relationship.
Right. I've
like
never been.
Never been.
So monogamous, honestly.
I'm like a jealous bitch.
Same.
Like I just like
I'm
I would
so
be
jealous.
so like jealous and
Yeah.
like I'd like even if they told me, I'd want to know every detail
Yeah.
about like I don't know if it's for me.
I think even like as I keep bringing it back to dance, but like we have to do a lot of like touching of our bodies and like I did another music video where like I had to pretend like this guy was like my lover, but I can separate that because that's work, whereas like if it were for
and dance is very like very interactive. I mean, it's kind of performative.
Right.
It's super performative,
Right.
but like there's like acting and emotion that goes into it. So.
Right. But I just don't know if I could do, but I have no problem with other people. Honestly, at the end of the day, people can do whatever they want and no one should be able to judge or do.
Yeah.
It's
not coming
life.
from a place of judgment.
Right.
I don't think. For me, it's just more like observationally. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, I see.
Right.
But I'm
we're
like,
both way too jealous.
Yeah.
I am way, yeah.
Girl, you like I didn't like your comment. You almost ended the friendship.
Yeah.
It was too much.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is
Actually, and then when I moved to LA and I became friends with Brant, who was
I was
my LA
mad.
gay bestie.
I got replaced.
Yeah.
I got replaced.
And now we're all friends.
But I love Brant now.
Yeah, we
He's,
love
like,
Brant. Oh, shout out Brant.
Shout out Brant.
Maybe
Okay.
he'll see this.
Okay, the next one is my roommate is currently ghosting me and hasn't paid utility since January.
This is literally.
Wait, I literally know
what
who this
was-
is.
who-
Just based
I
on
know-
this.
Wait, is she actually
it?
submitted this? Yes.
I think it's her.
We know who this is.
But like, how can your roommate truly ghost you? I feel like this is like you need to be more aggressive. She's gonna be mad I said that.
I know. I hate this. I think. Wait, what's the worst level? 10?
10 out of 10, I guess, is the worst. I feel like 1 out of 10 is like is a bad rating.
Oh, okay. I think
Maybe it's 10 out of 10, like it's really scary.
it's scary for
Our
me 'cause
rating
it's-
system doesn't
it's
make
like-
any sense.
I'm like, what? I think 10 out of 10 is the worst. Or
Our
it's the
rating
worst
system's
because
terrible.
there's like money involved and like
Yeah.
and we're adults, you know. So
And like, I don't know. Like, if someone didn't pay me utilities since January, it's like 4 months.
right,
4 months in.
right. No,
Like-
that's so not cool.
That's really crazy. I don't know. I would just.
Maybe 9 out of 10 if they're still like coexisting, okay? But
Yeah, if you're like still friends, but I would just be like.
can you just pay rent? Like, what do you? Yeah. Ugh,
Yeah,
that
I feel like
sounds
you have to be like
terrible.
more aggressive if
Right.
they're not getting the hint. But
Right.
yeah, 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, 9 out of 10. Okay.
Okay.
Next one is I ghosted before a date because his mom said I looked weird.
Looked weird.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty. On one hand, girlie who submitted this, maybe you're the red flag, or the guy whoever submitted this, and maybe the mom has a good idea of like what her son needs. But on the other hand, it's like let him live.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like sometimes moms have really hard times with boundaries because like that's your baby.
Yeah.
And like seeing your baby as an adult can be challenging, but like let your kid like
Yeah.
don't tell him like he's going to date with a girl who looks weird. But also, how does she know?
Right.
How does she know that his mom called her weird looking?
Yeah.
Or him weird looking?
Also, why would he tell?
Like, well, yeah. Like, what
Yeah.
was the?
Or how did she find
Boo.
out?
What
Yeah.
is it?
Boo.
I don't know. I feel like 5 out of 10.
Yeah, 5.
It's like
That's a
whether-
good one. 5 out of
Okay.
10.
I'm adopted, so technically I was ghosted by my mom.
Damn.
Oh no.
Oh.
Well, you're adopted, so that's not that scary.
Oh, wow. That's a deep cut. Whoa.
Okay, so
man.
well,
that's also kind of they have this person has a really good sense of humor for saying that, I guess.
yeah, I feel like if you're willing to laugh at that,
yeah,
you're like healed somewhat.
yeah. I guess real life wise, it's like, I mean, I guess that's pretty bad.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
10 out of 10
10 out of
scary?
10,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't
Yeah.
know. This is our last one. Our last ghost story. Once I was talking to this guy for weeks, but I had to ghost him because he had a micro penis.
Valid.
Well, okay.
But
valid.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think that is the one time. I feel so bad saying that.
But you can't tell him.
You can't tell. It's rude to tell.
Oh,
like
no.
because it goes back to what we were saying. You can't comment on something that people can't change within 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's really hard.
I would rather be polite. I really am like so bad at lying, but in that case, I would.
That's so like I've never encountered one.
Same.
I just like, but like that seems so like such a crazy. Like imagine you really like a guy, like you really think he's like awesome,
then maybe,
and then you find out. I don't know. That's so hard.
Yeah.
That's 5 out of 10 scary.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
I feel like I see your point, but I don't know how I feel about it. Like,
yeah.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, that is a hard one.
Well, ending on micro penises, I guess. That's so sad.
The best way to end a conversation.
Okay, so thank you for joining me, Jen. This is the end of our episode. I had so much fun with you. Yay!
We do our little,
Yeah. Did you have anything you wanted to say goodbye to?
Definitely look out for this music video that I am so honored to be the lead for. It's Cody Fry's new music video. It should be out by the time this podcast comes out. And it should be on all my socials. My social is Jennifer Mika _MIKA, and I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me on here.
You did amazing.
Yay!
I had so much fun.
Yay!
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Rico Taquito. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, don't. Also, don't forget to send in more spooky stories for the Ghosted Stories segment. Thank you so much, campers, for sticking around for another episode. I love you so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye!
Bye! Yay!